Hello and welcome to Thursday Night Football. What a night we've got here at the MCG, and what a crowd. We're looking forward to it. Essendon versus Carlton. They're looking forward to it. Are you? Let's get into it.
They cheated to win the flag.
I thought Quirk was pretty low.
It's out of bounds. It's a draw. Oh, no. They just put it through.
And welcome to Thursday Night Football on Easter Eve. A good crowd building up here at the MCG. Yes, it is one of the great rivalries in Australian sport. Carlton and Essendon, who between them have won 32 premierships. I'm joined by Dermot Brereton tonight, and Dermot, they really have got something going both on and off the field, these two clubs, haven't they?
Absolutely. You could be excused for thinking that they had the big Windy Hill Blue many years ago. That was Richmond, but that's the kind of rivalry these two teams have. They can match it with each other, trade blows on all levels.
Should start by saying no Bradley, no Silvani, no Koutafidis. We knew no Allen. Boy, it's a nightmare for Carlton, isn't it?
It's really going to hurt them. When you look at their paper, their team on paper in a second, they come up a bit thin. The list comes up just a little bit sparse. So, look, if they win tonight, Carlton, you would pencil it in as probably their best win over the last 20 years.
Well, maybe since that preliminary final just 2 years ago.
I reckon this is a bigger ask tonight.
You're probably right. Remember, Geelong did it against Carlton in '94. I think Bairstow and Couch, and maybe Mansfield was the other one that was out in that second semi, so you never know. Wayne Britton locking horns with Kevin Sheedy. He doesn't lock horns just with coaches, does he? He locks horns with everyone at the moment.
He'll take on anyone. He doesn't mind Sheeds. He just wants to get his teeth into it. And he's good for his club as well, isn't he? Like, he just promotes them so well in that fashion. James Hird leading the boys out there. Now, if ever you've seen a champion who was on fire, I mean, he didn't get super big possessions last week. In the teens he was, but he just wins games for them.
This is a champion team with a team of champions, though, Dermot, isn't it?
Absolutely.
They're almost a complete package, and they are so entertaining to watch.
Well, look, you see blokes who are probably 14th, 15th on their list, and you think, well, they're middle of the road. They're not. They're fantastic players.
Well, let's go down and join Andrew Marr, who's got Sheedy, Kevin Sheedy himself.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Sheeds has been close to the perfect start to the season. What's the focus tonight?
Oh, look, I think that we've got to not just drop off like we did last week. I was very disappointed in that last quarter. We picked players to play out there and give them their opportunities and take their chances. You know, we've got to do better than let poor Power do what we did to us.
So much speculation about the Carlton outs today. Does that become a factor that you've got to address before the game?
Oh, most definitely, because they're three players that we would not have banked on in our pre-match talks. And, of course, it also, you know, when you look at a tall player in Silvani and a tall player in Koutafidis, I mean, we've got to be very careful if there's a heavy dew comes in and sets in the night. And might favour a smaller side, so we've got to be, you know, at the ball as hard as anyone.
And just quickly, the rivalry between the clubs is intense. How much would you love to thump them?
Oh, look, we're happy we want to win the game. I mean, I'm talking about thumping. I mean, we know they've got three top players out, but look, we're just keeping our mind on where we've got to get. And I spoke to the players, you know, just before the game, you know, that we've been taken 10 years to get this side together, and from Michael Long all the way through.
Thanks very much, mate. Back to you, fellas.
That's good stuff, Andy. Thanks, Kevin Sheedy, for that. It's a wonderful team. Hardwick, the one change coming in for Rioli. And try and pick the weakness for us, Dermot.
All right. Well, none there. They're all very good players, exceptional players. Henneman's probably the one place you'd try and exploit. Whoever gets him, if he plays against Whitnell, you'd try and play through Henneman, his opponent. Look, Ramanaskas got talent. Masidi, he's your staple diet of 30 plus a week, so that's a good head start. McCurry, clean hands. Scotty Lucas runs the goal. James Hird, we've spoken to him, he's brilliant. Lloyd, Long, I mean, you just cannot find a weak link in here at the moment. They are just a stunning team on paper. And Barnesy, Blumfield can do anything. Jason Johnson keeps getting the ball and he's hard at it as well.
It's a decent interchange too. Moorcroft probably the one man who hasn't had a lot of opportunities this year and would love a big game, wouldn't he? But it adds up to a wonderful team, a team that's been on top of the table for 31 long weeks. Here come Carlton, no Bradley, no Silvani, no Koutafidis. We talked about Allen had dropped out. Coming in Backwell, Nelson Vance, and Michael Mansfield had come in last night for his 200th game. But Dermot, you're right. Suddenly you look at them and there are a few holes on paper at least.
Look at that back line's pretty brittle. You've got McKay down there. We'll talk of him in a second. I mean, Glenn Manton leads that line there and he's probably nearing the end of his career. He's a bit thin there as well. McKay, he is the rock solid of this back line, but he needs more support. They're brittle down there. Camporelli, he'll run all day for you. Backwell's inexperienced. Fletcher's gradually getting there also. Whitnell on the half-forward line. If he gets Henneman, he has to step up tonight. That's their only hope for them. Hickmott finding more games, Beaumont, and also Mansfield playing his 200th game. Good luck to Mick.
And Porter?
Well, Porter, he got beaten last week against Hawthorn, and they really did bash him up. Humie's been pretty hard in the first few weeks, so good luck to Humie tonight.
And for Vola, a chance to really stand up here and rise some experience there on
That's thin on paper. That back line is quite brittle.
And thin for Carlton. Kevin Sheedy, we talked about the rivalry. His 21st season at Essendon. He's got a great record against the Blues, and it's not as if they've been down in the period. I mean, both these clubs have won 4 premierships over that 20-year period. He's going at 63% against them.
Well, that's magnificent, isn't it? To play in finals in any one year, you've got to win 12 games, basically, so that's somewhere around 55%. Any coach with a record of 55% or over has done well. 63 against one club like Carlton is brilliant.
Looking forward to this, Dermot. We'll be back with the opening bounce. Wolsey will join us right after this.